Could the Vancouver Canucks be on the verge of a monumental shift in their roster? Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade involving a certain superstar from Pittsburgh, and fans are buzzing with anticipation. What if I told you that this player has a deep connection with the Canucks management? Stick around as we dive into the latest speculations that could reshape the future of our beloved team. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video to stay updated on all things Vancouver Canucks. Hey hockey fans! Today, let's dive into some intriguing news surrounding the Vancouver Canucks and, of course, the one and only Sidney Crosby. Now, we all know the Penguins have been struggling lately, and reports are buzzing that Crosby might actually be on the trading block. Can you imagine that? A world where Sid the Kid is not a Penguin? It feels almost surreal, doesn't it? According to sources, the Canucks have emerged as a top potential destination for Crosby if he were to be traded. I mean, what a storyline that would be. A future Hall of Famer, a player who's done so much for Pittsburgh, potentially donning the blue and green of Vancouver. It's a thought that sends chills down my spine. But let's get real for a second. The chances of this happening seem pretty slim. Crosby has made it clear that he wants to stay in Pittsburgh and win another Stanley Cup there. He idolizes legends like Mario Lemieux and Steve Yzerman, who spent their entire careers with one franchise. That loyalty runs deep. Yet, let's entertain the idea for just a moment. If Crosby and the Penguins were to part ways, the Canucks could be a serious contender for his services. Josh Yohe, a reporter from The Athletic, mentioned that if he were Sid, Vancouver would probably be at the top of his list. Think about it. He has a strong connection with Rick Tocchet, Jim Rutherford, and Patrick Allvin, all of whom have ties to Crosby's past in Pittsburgh. It's like a cozy reunion waiting to happen. Picture this. Crosby in Vancouver, playing alongside other former Penguins and bringing that championship pedigree to the Canucks. The buzz in the city would be electric. Fans would rally behind him, and the franchise would gain a massive boost in credibility and competitiveness. However, it's essential to temper our excitement. Yohe himself stated that he doesn't believe Crosby wants to be traded at all, and I tend to agree. He just signed a new contract after all. But let's take a moment to think about the implications. If the Canucks were to make a serious push for Crosby down the line, it would require a lot of strategic moves. There would have to be a clear vision from the management and roster adjustments to accommodate a player of his caliber. Can you imagine the Canucks shipping off a few key players to make room for Sid? It's a risky but potentially rewarding move that could change the landscape of the franchise for years to come. What do you think about the current direction of the Canucks? With Kyle Dubas actively making trades, it shows that the Penguins are willing to shake things up. If they continue to struggle and Crosby feels that winning is out of reach, will he reconsider his stance? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And let's not forget the emotional aspect. Canucks fans have been waiting for a long time to see their team return to glory. Adding a player like Crosby could reignite the passion in the fan base and inspire a new generation of hockey lovers in Vancouver. But on the flip side, would it be wise to put all your eggs in one basket, banking on a trade for a player who might not want to leave his home in Pittsburgh? I'm genuinely torn on this one. You know how much I love the idea of bringing in a superstar like Crosby, but I also recognize the risks involved. Should the Canucks focus on building the core they have? Or is it time to swing big and make a play for a legend? So, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Would you support the Canucks going after Crosby if the opportunity arose? Or do you believe they should stay the course and keep developing their young talent? Let's debate this in the comments below. The Vancouver Canucks wrapped up November with an 8-5-0 record. And it's clear that this team has shown some serious grit, especially considering that 6 of those victories came on the road. With a solid 9-2-0 away record, they're currently sitting in 4th place in the Pacific Division, holding on to the first wild card spot in the Western Conference. But let's face it, this month has been anything but smooth sailing, especially when it comes to injuries. Brock Boeser missed 7 games. JT Miller had a leave of absence. And Philip Hronek is now nursing an upper body injury that could keep him sidelined for a while. On the bright side, Dakota Joshua returned to the lineup on November 14th, and we're all eagerly awaiting Thatcher Demko's season debut, potentially in the next couple of games during this road trip. It's been a true test of the next man up mentality for the Canucks, with players stepping up to fill significant gaps in the lineup. We've seen the team rally together through these challenges, and that resilience has led to 8 well-deserved victories. Before we dive into the top 3 stars of November, let's talk about a trio that deserves a shout-out. Jake DeBrusk, Elias Pettersson, and Kiefer Sherwood, also known as the DPS line. This line has been phenomenal, combining for 17 goals and 32 points in just 13 games. With Miller and Boeser out, they've taken on the challenge and helped keep the Canucks afloat. They've truly become one of the best lines in hockey right now. Now, moving on to the 3rd star of the month, Kevin Lankinen. Despite some rocky starts, he has admirably stepped into the starting role in Demko's absence. He secured his 9th win away from home against the Sabres, boasting a remarkable 9-0-0 record on the road. His stats are impressive, with a goals against average of 1.77 and a save percentage of 0.938, along with 2 shutouts. If not for a few subpar performances at home, his numbers could be Vezina Trophy worthy. Lankinen had a standout game against the Bruins, making 32 saves, and he's been a revelation for this team. The 2nd star goes to Quinn Hughes. He's been nothing short of outstanding, racking up 3 goals and 17 points in November, and he recently reached his 300th career assist. He's now just 1 assist away from becoming the franchise leader for a defenseman, and if he keeps this pace, he'll easily surpass Alex Edler. With 25 points, he's in a strong position for another Norris Trophy, and it's exciting to see how he'll continue to elevate his game. And finally, the 1st star of November is Connor Garland. He has been a force all season long, contributing 5 goals and 14 points this past month. With 8 goals and 21 points in 22 games, he's on track for a career year. His performance has only gotten better since becoming a new dad on November 20th. Since then, he scored 3 goals and tallied 7 points in just 4 games, including a game-winning goal in overtime against the Sabres. Garland's dynamism is crucial for the Canucks, and it's hard not to get excited about what he can accomplish this season. Now, what does December hold for the Canucks? They're finishing up a 6-game road trip in Minnesota, and then it's back home for another set of 6 games. Last time at home, they struggled with a disappointing 2-4-0 record, and fans are hoping they can turn it around this time in Rogers Arena. They've got to carry over that road success and find ways to win at home, especially since they're currently sitting at a disappointing 3-5-3 record there. It'll be essential for our stars from November and the DPS line to keep up that momentum, especially with 9 of their next 14 games at home. The excitement is palpable, and I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Do you believe this is the right path forward for the Canucks? I'm genuinely torn about some of these decisions, and I want to know what you think. Share your expectations and frustrations in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any crucial updates. And make sure to hit that notification bell to stay in the loop. This team has the potential to do something special, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.